The 1-0 to Blackstone, and that one in there for strike 1-1.
As you can see, Stem working down in the zone, trying to get that ground ball with maybe a hard breaking ball or some sort of cutting fastball or fastball with some movement in it. Although Gomez looks like he's playing the bunt.
The 1-1 to Blackstone. That one gets up a little high there, 2-1. Runner on, no outs. The runner at first is Ruby Silva. Here's the 2-1 to Blackstone. This one hits off the mound as well. Giovanni Alfonso goes to second. He throws to first. The double play. The old 6-3 double play.
Well, I just mentioned it's something you'd love to see if you're the Rockers to try to return the favor of the double play the Blue Crabs turned earlier. And when you're a pitch-to-contact pitcher, you let your defense make the plays behind you. That's exactly what Giovanni Alfonso did.
And that shows you how chancy it can be off the mound. It took a bounce right off the mound the first time off of the bat of Silva, and then it bounces off the mound again this time off the bat of Kent Blackstone. This time it took a High Point Rocker bounce right over to Alfonso for the double play. Edwin Garcia at the plate. The first pitch was a ball. The second pitch, a ball, 2-0. 2-0, 2 outs. Stem still on the mound. Looking good through three, and pitching pretty good so far. Here is the 2-0. That one is a ball, 3-0.
Yeah, pitch count just at 43 right now here at the top of the third inning. So he's on track to go 6 solid in tonight's ball game.
That's a strike to Garcia. He was throwing the bat, walking over to first. Respectfully, just thought it was a ball, and that one called a strike, 3-1. With this automated ball and strike system, you see that way more often, and it's really nobody trying to show either pitcher, or no one trying to show anybody up. It just kind of happens. The 3-1 to Garcia, and he was positive about that one, so he makes his way to first, and he was right. That's ball 4.
Second walk today for Craig Stem.
And Garcia hit that single off of him. I think Garcia, who's hitting 242, 28 RBIs, 3 home runs. He's a guy you should be careful with. You're not walking him on purpose there, but if you do walk him, I don't think it's the end of the world.
John Griffin, the guy behind him, hitting just 218.
John Griffin swings at it. Strike 1, 2 outs.
In his first at-bat, he was the first of 4 consecutive strikeouts for Craig Stem.
Runner on first. Here's the 0-1 to Griffin. That one, a strike. It was a little low, but that one just got in the zone for a strike, 0-2. The 0-2 to Griffin. Garcia going to throw. Got him. That gets the Rockers out of the inning. Nice throw by Matt Jones as Griffin was Garcia is caught stealing at second base. Stem likes that. We head to the bottom of the third inning. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. Still scoreless here on Labor Day.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
To get your Rockers merchandise. Leading on for your Rockers.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits here with you as Matt Jones makes his way into the box here for the High Point Rockers. Jones, the 8-hitter today. The first pitch to him from Stem is strike 0-1. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. Still scoreless, by the way, here on Labor Day. A 5 o'clock start. Here's the 0-1 to Jones. Two good-looking pitches. That's strike 2.
Yeah, it was originally a 4 o'clock start time, but just really tough to try to make that window getting all the way back from Sugarland today.
The 0-2, and that one takes a big bounce away from the man behind the plate, Valerio, but he is able to get to it and flips it over to Giovanni Alfonso on deck. Alfonso, the 9th hitter. We welcome him back into the lineup here at BB&T Point. The 1-2 to Jones. That one is up high, so that's a ball as well, and we're all even at 2.
Giovanni was nice enough to spend a couple innings with us up in the booth while he was on the injured list.
That was last homestand. That was the game we had on My 48, the 2-2. That game, as all of our games are all year long, available in the archives on YouTube if you want to go back and watch that. It was August 23rd, 24th. It was the night we did Pack the Park Pink Night. So whatever that Saturday was. The 2-2 to Jones, and that one just missing there.
Jones putting together a really nice at-bat right now. He's hitting an even 200, but showing a good eye at the plate here.
The 2-2, Jones fouls that one back.
It may be Labor Day, but I think this is the first hitter that John Hayes has really had to labor through an at-bat. This is pitch number 7 coming up. You should just expect that every now and then.
That's good. I appreciate it. Here's the pitch from Hayes, and that is ball 4. I thought it was 3-2. Then I saw the umpire signal, and I thought he had a 2-2 sign. That was a 3-2 count. The ball makes it ball 4, and that'll bring Jones over to first here in the top of the third inning. So once again, the Blue Crabs walk a rocker to start the inning.
Yeah, the second time in 3 innings. Not only that, though, but that's the third walk given up by Hayes in this game. Rockers still don't have a hit, but they've got a couple base runners so far.
Giovanni Alfonso at the plate. The first pitch to him is a strike 0-1.
It's good to see him back in the lineup, as you mentioned earlier. 232, 0 home runs, 25 driven in. Fantastic glove at shortstop and a bat that was heating up before he was placed on the injured list. We'll see if he can pick up where he left off.
The 0-1 to Alfonso. That one in there for a strike 0-2. The 0-2 to Alfonso as he fouls that one away to stay alive. 0-2. The 0-2, Alfonso was showing bunt, and that actually hit off the glove of Valerio, not off of the bat of Giovanni Alfonso. He did not connect with it, and that's going to let Matt Jones move over. No outs here in the inning, so Jones moves over to second base here and a 1-2 count for Giovanni Alfonso.
Yeah, Hayes just kind of floated a curveball up there, and I don't know if Alfonso's bat blocked the view of the catcher there for a moment or what, but that'll be a pass ball on Charlie Valerio.
The 1-2, Alfonso showing bunt, and if that gets down, that's definitely moving Jones to third base. That one just got foul.
Good idea there if you're Giovanni Alfonso. You'd have a guy on third with nobody out, or with just one out if you execute the sacrifice, but see if we can maybe try to hit one on the ground to the right side and get the runner over anyways.
Bottom of the third, runner on second and Matt Jones, nobody out. Here is the 1-2 to Giovanni Alfonso. He hits this one on the ground, and I think he's going to make it to first. Yes, he will. That bounced off of the mound. I think it might have connected with Hayes.
I think it hit the pitcher, yeah.
I think I might have said Stem a second ago. I meant John Hayes.
That's the Rockers' first hit of the game now, as they've got runners at the corners, but usually when a ball hits a pitcher, they come out and check on him. I'm thinking maybe it hit off of his glove. I think he might have deflected it off of his glove because you didn't see any trainers or anything running out to the...
And if it hit him, it didn't really bounce that hard. If it hit him, it barely got him.
Yeah, I just thought it was hit too high to have just hit off of the mound.
That's true. If it hit him, I think it hit right off the toe or something, right around his feet. Mm-hmm. Nobody out here. Runners on the corners for Steven Cardulo. The first pitch is a ball to him, a 1-0 count.
May have been a little fluky, but a hit's a hit, and hopefully that gets the Rockers going here in the third inning.
Doesn't matter how you get it. The Rockers have a guy who's just over at third base, so a good chance to try to score one here. 2 balls to Cardulo. And Hayes got to be careful here. You don't want to walk Cardulo and have the bases loaded here for Mitchell, Gomez, and Lattimore. That's 3 talented hitters with nobody out. Alfonso really leading off there. Came out, really dancing around at first base.
And if you're Cardulo, you have so many options. Obviously, a hit would score a run. A sacrifice fly scores a run. A double play even scores a run right here.
The 2-0. That one a ball. 3-0.
Showing a very good eye there at the plate. And he's also more than willing to take a walk and load the bases for Jared Mitchell, who, we might remind you, hit a grand slam 2 weeks ago.
On the road.
On the road.
The 3-0 to Cardulo. He hits this one on the ground. A nice play is the throw at second. Did Alfonso get underneath it? And I think Alfonso got it underneath it. They're saying he was tagged out by a leaping Blackstone as that one was hit on the line to Tony Thomas. Thomas thought about going to third, makes the throw to Blackstone. I don't know if he got him or not, but Jamie Keefe is over there pleading his case.
I will say it's absolutely not a force because the throw took the second baseman off of the bag. So there's absolutely no force because Blackstone is up in the air at the time he makes the catch. I did not see, it was tough to see the tag from here. It got him because it was a head first slide, so it must have got him around the foot.
And Keefe asked for a conference. The conference is what he's going to get. Now, if they go ahead and call him safe here after the initial out call, I'm sure we'll see Stan Clyburn, the manager of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That is not the scenario. He is called out here again, and there's one out in the inning, and Giovanni Alfonso slowly making his way off. Jamie Keefe is fired up, and he is going to let the umpires have it here again. I believe he's talking to Larry Rosenberg out there at third base.
Keefe had he probably had one of the best views of that play in the house, a perfect side view of that play at second. So basically you have the same situation here. Runners at the corners, just a different runner at first base. And now you have one out. So obviously if you're Jared Mitchell, you want to stay away from the double play ball here, but still every other avenue is open as far as what you can do to score a run.
And if we're keeping it honest here, everybody who had the best view of it, Jamie Keep and Hector Gomez, yes, they're rockers, but they both had their hands up asking what happened. The first pitch to Mitchell, that one in there for a strike, 0-1. This would be a big break if Hayes is able to get out of this hole here with Matt Jones over at third base. Jones is speedy. He can get down the line quick and score. Only one out. You'd love to avoid the double play here, as you would if you're a rocker. You would love Hector Gomez and or Quincy Lattimore to be able to come up to the plate in this kind of situation. This is a great spot right here. Runners on the corners. Here is the 0-1 to Mitchell. That one a ball, 1-1.
And again, you've already seen the fact that John Hayes struggling a little bit with his command at times. So if you're the Rockers, really be patient up until the point where you have 2 strikes. I think make him throw strikes, make him throw you something that you can drive, that you can hit really hard. Obviously, when you get to 2 strikes, you have to defend. But up until that point, make John Hayes work.
The 1-1 to Mitchell. A big swing there makes it 1-2.
That's one that Mitchell should have left alone. That would have been ball 2 down in the turf. But Hayes made it look appealing enough to get him to swing.
The 1-2 to Mitchell, and this one hits off the glove of Hayes. If they turn 2, they're out of the inning. Mitchell made it, and Jones scores 1-0. The Rockers get on the board. Huge assist to Jared Mitchell. If he is out at first, that run does not count. Mitchell beat it out, 1-0. The Rockers lead.
Yeah, not a whole lot on that throw from Blackstone to Garcia. He kind of shovel past it and just didn't have a whole lot of oomph behind it. And I think the fact that that throw wasn't made that hard to second base is what cost him just that split second of trying to get the double play.
Hector Gomez comes up to the plate here with 2 outs, nobody on, but the Rockers get on the board first here, 1-0 for Craig Stem. Nobody on. Jared Mitchell's at first base. I looked at second and third and said nobody on. I'm glad I'm paying attention. Jared Mitchell over here at first base, a 1-0 count for Hector Gomez. 2 outs in the inning, though. Only 1 hit for the Rockers so far, but they have the 1-0 advantage. The 1-0 to Gomez, and that one actually gets away, and Mitchell is going to make it over to second base. So a couple pass balls here. And the Rockers have moved a couple guys over. That was dropped by Valerio. 2-0, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Hector Gomez. The guy with 68 RBIs. Had a great year for the Rockers, one of the crowd favorites, the 2-0 to Gomez. He hit this one. It looked good off the bat, but it's popped straight up here in the infield as Blackstone is able to take care of it for out number 3. But not before Matt Jones comes in to score, thanks from a little help from Jared Mitchell, who hits him in. 1-0, the Rockers lead as we head to the top of the 4th inning. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, guys.
This is Keith.
And Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Tony Thomas at the plate. That one in there for a strike 0-1. So no 1 count for Tony Thomas. Stem on the mound. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fuchs here back with you. Here is the 0-1 to Tony Thomas. That one is in there for a strike 0-2.
Thomas swinging a pretty solid bat this year at 265.
The 0-2 to Thomas, and that one is a ball, 1-2. The 1-2 to Thomas, he fouls that one away. One, two. As Thomas still at the plate here, still alive at a 1-2 count. No outs. A 1-0 lead for the Rockers. Here is the 1-2 to Thomas. A big swing, and that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Craig Stem. What a way to start your 4th inning here. 4th inning, 5 strikeouts for Stem, who's having a big night. He might be switching up his flow here as a Rocker, turning into a little bit of a strikeout pitcher, at least for tonight. The first pitch to Corey Vaughn. He swung at it for a strike. 0-1, 1 out.
Kevin, what do you have John Griffin doing his last at-bat?
I don't have it either. I don't know what it was.
I think that John Griffin just got skipped in the lineup.
Oh. Are you sure?
Well, he came up to bat. Edwin Garcia was caught stealing for the final out of the inning, so his at-bat should continue.
That's right. Are you sure that was Tony Thomas? Okay, we're hearing it in the other room. So that should be an out, right?
To my knowledge, yeah. So he's saying that there was
there were 2 outs, though.
Yeah, there was a double play turned. Giovanni Alfonso turned the double play. And here is the pitch is fouled off. Okay, so what they're telling us is that that was strike 3 to John Griffin, so it wasn't a caught stealing for Garcia because the strike 3, which is the 3rd out, had occurred first.
Okay, because I saw the out get called at second base, so I got thrown off. I'm glad our guy PJ's over there keeping us on the right track.
Yeah,
we were all out of sorts.
Thankful for the insight, for sure. Because we're all watching the throw down to second, did not see the strike 3 call.
So he has another strikeout then. That's 6 strikeouts.
Yeah. So they got our backs in there. We're thankful for them and the good work they do next door.
Yeah, luckily it's not up to us, or we wouldn't be doing so well. Speaking of strikeouts, Corey Vaughn, another strikeout. So make that 7 strikeouts on the day here for Craig Stem.
Yeah, certainly didn't mean to create unnecessary drama there. Just a little cleaning up there. That
I didn't have anything either, which, I'm a little ADD. The fact that I missed a player wasn't out of the realm of possibility, that I was just kind of asleep for an at-bat there. There's a swing from Charlie Valerio. That'll make it an 0-1 count. So we talked about a strikeout streak. If you go back in the last inning, he has 3 in a row here again. Here's the 0-1 to Valerio. He swings at that one down in the dirt. That pitch is working for him there. That's the second time we've seen a guy drop to a leg there. 0-2, 2 outs. The 0-2, that one fouled away.
He's 1 strike away from strikeout number 8, which is pretty phenomenal through 4 innings. Remember, Edwin Carl had 12 through 5 when he tied the team record.
The 0-2 to Valerio. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Make it 8 on the day and 4 in a row for Craig Stem. He is sparkling in his debut. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back here to BB&T Point. The first pitch to Quincy Lattimore from Hayes is a ball, 1-0. Quincy Lattimore here in the bottom of the 4th inning leads us off, a 1-0 lead for the High Point Rockers. Here's the 1-0 to Quincy. He hits that one foul but hard, 1-1. One is the count. Quincy Lattimore at the plate in a 1-0 game as the Rockers lead. Here's the 1-1 to Quincy. That one outside for a ball, 2-1. And if they can have a lights out performance here from Stem, obviously a lot of baseball left to be played. Here's the pitch to Quincy Lattimore as he hits that one up in the air. Will it be playable for McAdams at the net? Leaping up, and he almost made the catch. That would have been a great play as he landed on the wall right there and kind of laughs with the fans as he went crashing into the net.
Yeah, he went right up to the boundary there.
Was trying to pull a Derek Jeter going into the crowd there. 2-2. Even though Jeter did it more on the run. A Gio Urshela, if you will. Here's the 2-2 to Quincy Lattimore. He reaches across the plate and puts it into left field on the ground for his single.
He's now reached base in both of his 2 trips to the plate so far today. And for the 3rd time in 4 innings, the Rockers have the leadoff man aboard.
Bottom of the 4th inning.
Can I just say there's some excellent baseball nostalgia here at the park. There's a guy with the Roberto Clemente shirt right in front of us, and you saw, I think, the coolest thing pregame show. I'll let you tell what you saw.
That's right. It is a 1-0 count here for Richie Schaefer, the new batter. No outs with Quincy Lattimore on first base. The first pitch to Schaefer, and that one is a ball, so I believe it's a 2-0 count here for Schaefer. Yeah, I saw one of the best sweaters I've ever seen. It was a 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers sweatshirt that had the starting lineup on it, pennants, the Brooklyn Dodgers logo, and the ERAs of the pitchers as he swings at that one for a 2-1 count. And it was if that came out in 1955, it was ahead of its time because it had a lot going on. It was very right now, the way it had everything on it. And it actually inspired Kendrick Fuchs to try to write down the entire starting lineup of the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1955, as that one is a ball. I believe it's 3-1. It might be 2-1. I'll wait from the sign here from Newsom.
I've got 3-1.
You got everybody but one, right? Everybody but 2 in that lineup. Is that correct? In your Dodgers lineup?
I missed an outfielder and I was short a pitcher.
Here is the 3-1 to Richie Schaefer, ball 4, and that'll put 2 on for the Rockers here. Nobody out. Well, that's a lot more than I would have. 2, missing 2. I mean, I couldn't have gotten 2.
There's 4 Hall of Famers in the lineup alone, in the form of catcher Roy Campanella,
of course,
Jackie Robinson.
Well, I probably would have gotten Jackie because I just would have guessed it.
Pee Wee Reese and Duke Snyder.
The great Pee Wee Reese. I wouldn't have gotten any of them. Runners on first and second. Did Russell go? Yes, he did. That one was down in the turf. Russell crossed the plane, 0-1.
Then you fill in some really solid players like Junior Gilliam, Cal Ferrillo, and then, of course, your pitching staff, Johnny Padres, Don Newcomb, Clem Labine, Carl Erskine. Solid team. Obviously, they won the World Series.
The 0-1 to Russell. That one in the exact same spot. He's not fooled this time. No swing, 1-1.
Russell flied out to right field his first time up.
We're even at 1-1 here. It's a 1-0 game for the Rockers. Russell is the one in the even count. No outs. Runners on first and second. Here's the 1-1 to Russell. A big swing there. Makes it 1-2 as that one, I think, got fouled away by him there. 1-2. Schaefer at first. Lattimore at second.
Technically, last thing I'll say, there was one more Hall of Famer on that team. A rookie pitcher who made, I think, 3 appearances that year. A guy by the name of Sandy Koufax.
All right. Russell at the plate. Runners on first and second. No outs in a 1-2 count. The 1-2 to Russell. He's showing bunt. That's going to move both over. Close at first. He is out, but a great bunt that moves both men over. And that'll put runners on second and third here for Miles Schroeder.
And that's a reason why managers love a player like Michael Russell, a guy that hits really well. He's consistently up over 300 pretty much through the entirety of this season. But then he can lay down a bunt, too. He knows what the situation calls for, and he can execute it perfectly.
Yeah, you couple a high baseball IQ with selflessness as well to say, you know what? Moving those guys over is more important than me getting a hit here. Schroeder hits this one on the ground, and that would have scored Lattimore if he was running right away, but nobody moves because that fouled off of him. Would have been a tough play for Lattimore to score there, too. So good thing for the Rockers that he fouled that one off himself.
That's another reason you bunt him over, too. You have a guy in Schroeder who's very capable of knocking both of these guys in with a base hit.
That would make a 1-0 lead feel a little bit more secure here for the Rockers, a team that really wants a win. Schroeder swings there 0-2. I promised myself I wasn't going to say it on the air. I'll say it anyway. If the Rockers win 4 games here, they're in pretty good shape to make the playoffs. They're in great shape as it is, And I don't know their magic number just yet. I don't think we're that close just yet. But the Rockers would be in really good shape when it comes to at least securing a wild card spot with 4 wins. The 0-2, Schroeder swings and misses, strike 3.
If you give me a second, I can do the math.
I was about to say, Kendrick Fruits is now fast at work.
Catcher, number 17.
Matthew Jones comes up to the plate here for the Rockers. And if you listen to this week's Off the Rocker podcast, I tried to do a good job of explaining the playoff situation. I hope I didn't horribly confuse anyone. Basically, as I tried this again with 2 outs, which is risky business, but the quick version is, here's the first pitch to Matthew Jones. That one a strike. Sugarland won the first half. The Ducks won the first half. If both of those teams win, it opens up the wild card. So then York, who has the best record in the Freedom Division, would make it. The Rockers, who have the best record in the Liberty Division, would make it. York currently leading in the Freedom Division. The 0-1 to Jones. He swings at it 0-2. So York is probably going to win that Freedom Division, and as we mentioned, the Blue Crabs are pretty much out of it at this point as far as trying to win the Freedom Division, and they're too far behind on the wild card. I think they're somewhere around 7 to 8 games. So the only thing that can really stop the Rockers from making it is a B's Division win here. The 0-2 to Matt Jones. That one a ball, 1-2. They're 5 games behind. So the Rockers still in the race to win the second half. If they don't, because the Revolution are probably going to win the Freedom Division, and there's nobody close to them when it comes to winning the division right now, besides them are the Sugarland Skeeters. The Rockers are pretty much secure, and 4 games would really put them in a good spot. The 1-2 to Matt Jones. If this gets down, it's scoring a few. It gets down. Lattimore in. Schaefer sliding in. The throw doesn't get him. He scores. And how about that? A 2 RBI single with 2 outs for Matt Jones.
Yeah, they bunted the runners over. Miles Schroeder couldn't get the job done, though. Matt Jones comes up and delivers a huge base hit there. And for a guy who's been off and on at the plate, that's got to feel really good.
3-0, the Rockers lead, and that's got to make the man on the mound, who's been outstanding so far, Craig Stammen, feel pretty good. Giovanni Alfonso steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch to Alfonso. That one is a ball, 1-0. The 1-0, that one is a ball. 2-0 count, no outs. Or 2 outs, excuse me. 2-0, 2 outs. Runner at first and Matt Jones. He had a 2 RBI single. Alfonso hits that one sky high but foul. He was smiling as that one got out. He realized if that one stayed fair, I think he was in a position to trot around the bases after his first home run. He's yet to hit one yet. 25 RBIs, a great fielder when he was up here with us during his stint on the IL. He told us, wasn't thrilled with the way he hit in the first half, but really had a great August and unfortunately had that injury, but he was in a really hot period right there, and I think we're going to see it continue 2-2. Giovanni Alfonso has been such an important part of this team this year as they try to make the playoffs in their very first season. The 2-2 to Alfonso. Jones on the move. The throw was in time. The tag as well gets him. So that will end the inning, but you can't be too frustrated with Jones. A 2 RBI single. So Matt Jones is the insurance policy so far as the Rockers lead 3-0. We'll be right back as we head already to the top of the 5th inning. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Keith
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Joe Benson at the plate here for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Still on the mound here for the Rockers is Craig Stem. It's an 0-1 count as the first pitch was a strike foul in the back of the net. The 0-1 pitch is in there down low for a ball, 1-1. 1-1 count, no outs for Mr. Joe Benson. How about that play by Matt Jones? A big swing from Benson makes it 0-2. He had a 2 RBI single, did Matt Jones, which makes it a 3-0 game, and Craig Stem has got to feel pretty comfortable out there now here at the top of the 5th inning. The 1-2 to Benson, that one takes a bounce, 2-2. We'll wait for this at-bat to end here for Joe Benson with either an out or a hit. And then we'll give you a little breaking news. It's called the tease. You like that? That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, nicely done.
The 2-2 to Benson, and that one is inside for a ball, 3-2.
Well, while you're waiting on that tease, how about so far the 8 guys he has struck out has been hitters 3 through 6 twice.
And that is ball 4. So Benson moves it over to first base for a walk, no outs in the inning. Here's the news. The game on Thursday will not take place in this series. That Thursday game has been moved to Wednesday in what will turn into a doubleheader that starts at 5 o'clock. And if you're wondering, when is 90s night going to be celebrated then? The answer is Cheapskate night and 90s night will both be celebrated on those nights. The pitch to Josh McAdams is 1-0. There's inside for a ball, 1-0. If I had to guess, I think they will split those up, do one in the first game and the next in the second game. The 1-0 to McAdams, that went in there for a strike, 1-1. When I was previewing what the promos were on the Off the Record podcast this week, I sang Everybody Backstreet's Back on the podcast this week. So I was hoping that wasn't all for nothing. The 1-1 to McAdams. That one inside for a ball, 2-1.
Are you saying that because you want everybody to critique your singing, or is it you want a review? Or
No, I think you could hear the numbers of our listeners drop when I started singing. 2-1, and I'm getting confirmation, actually. Wednesday night is actually just going to be 90s night and a dollar beer night. So don't worry, 90s fans. You'll still get to celebrate that. The 3-1 to Josh McAdams, 3-2. So That's important to know. A doubleheader, still your dollar beer night on Wednesday. Get to celebrate that a night early. The 3-2 to McAdams. This one hit on the ground, and because Benson was stealing there, he's going to make it all the way to third. So what looked like it might have been a double play turns into a hit and run. Runners on the corners, no outs.
Yeah, it's a tough break there for the Rockers. If Michael Russell is at his normal position, that is a very easy double play. But he was assigned to cover the steal in that situation, and excellent piece of hitting there for McAdams to put that right where Michael Russell had been.
A 3-0 lead. Here's Ruby Silva. 3-0 lead for the Rockers. But he is the tying run with no outs here in the top of the fifth inning. Here's the pitch to Silva. He fouls that one away.
Well, the good thing for the Rockers, though, is now that Matt Jones's RBI single scored 2 more runs, you're willing to trade this run for an out here. So you just want to get another out in this inning, even if it allows a guy to score.
There is action up in the Rocker bullpen. It's Dusty Isaacs. The 0-1 to Silva. He fouls that one away, 0-2.
So I was crunching the numbers about the elimination number. It was really not as exciting as you think.
Okay.
Or it has the potential to be very exciting, depending on the way you want to look at it.
Okay.
So, mathematically, which is a dangerous way to start any explanation, but that's how we begin. You cannot assume that York will win the division as they have just a 2-game lead at the moment.
That's true. Here's the 0-2 to Silva. This one hit on the ground. It's going to score 1 run. Can the Rockers turn a double play? Yes, they do. It was...
They called him safe.
They called him safe. So that was Alfonso to Russell who get the out at second base. So throw over to Cardulo, but it's beaten out by Ruby Silva. So it will only be the 1 out. Or excuse me. Yeah, Silva beat it out, so it'll only be the 1 out there. So 1 out, 1 run scores. Benson will score. McAdams was the out. Blackstone at the plate. 1 out in an 0-1 count. The 0-1 to Blackstone, and that one was inside, 1-1.
Okay, so continuing what I was saying about the elimination number. Because you cannot give York the title right now, you also cannot mathematically eliminate Southern Maryland from winning the division, and that's why things get weird.
That one in there for strike 1-2.
Since Southern Maryland is still alive in their division, there is conceivably a scenario in which they win the division, only one wild card team is up for grabs, and it could be Somerset, who's just behind the Rockers by a half game right now. So the elimination number literally goes down to the last game of the regular season right now.
But if the Rockers rattle off 4 wins here, their status becomes a little bit more secure.
It does, and what else is going to establish the Rockers a little bit more is when the Barnstormers and the Blue Crabs get eliminated from winning the division. So in another couple of weeks,
which is coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. Lancaster's a lot closer, but once York and Sugar Land pull far enough ahead of Southern Maryland, if that is indeed the case,
Ken Blackstone hits this one down the left field line, and that one bounces fair. It is really big trouble here for the Rockers, and probably would score the man from first base in Ruby Silva. 1 out, 2-2 count for Ken Blackstone.
If that is indeed the case, that'll help the Rockers out. And what else will continue to help them is the fact that Somerset continues to struggle as well in the second half, as they've dropped to 19-31 here in the second half of the season.
The 2-2 to Blackstone. He swings at that one and strikes out. 2 outs, and that's going to be the end of the evening here for Craig Stem, who gets through 4 2/3, giving up 1 run. He'll still be responsible for Ruby Silva, so we can't close the book on him completely. Here comes Dusty Isaacs out of the bullpen. And for your first night in a High Point Rocker uniform, pretty good stop. He's going to get a nice standing ovation here for 8 strikeouts. And a nice night through 4 2/3. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. We'll let Dusty Isaacs warm up. It's a 3-1 lead for the High Point Rockers.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 3-1, the Rockers lead. Here is a great hitter in Edwin Garcia. First pitch to Garcia is in there for strike 0-1. New pitcher here in the ball game. That is Dusty Isaacs.
Dusty Isaacs 1-2, 5.40 ERA, 18 innings and 17 appearances. Just trying to keep the tying run off of the bases, and that's the hitter at the plate.
The 0-1 to Garcia. He hits this one into right field. It gets down for a single. Silva making his way over to third. Runners on the corners. And the tying run is now at first base in Garcia. He's having a good night tonight. Walked once, 2 singles.
Yeah, fantastic night for Craig Stem. Obviously still responsible for that runner at third base right now. But you look at the way that he scattered the base runners, the way that he was able to just dominate hitters, picked up 9 strikeouts today. Really, really good first outing, I think, in a High Point Rockers uniform.
I agree with you. John Griffin at the plate. He swings at the first pitch from Isaacs. That one was down low, and that's strike 1.
I mean, would you love a little more length from him today? Sure. But he's at least giving you a very good taste of what he's able to do and should certainly leave you excited for his next start.
The 0-1 from Isaacs. Griffin swings at it. 0-2, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Isaacs in a tough spot here after the single from Garcia, but he's 1 strike away from getting out of it. 3-1, 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 from Isaacs, and that is strike 3 as Griffin swings at it again. And the Rockers get out of the inning. Nice stuff by Dusty Isaacs. We are to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 3-1, the High Point Rockers lead.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp Your Soccer Passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters. Hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. The first pitch to Giovanni Alfonso is a ball, 1-0. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark as we are in the bottom of the fifth inning. The pitcher here for the Blue Crabs is still John Hayes. The 1-0 pitch to Giovanni Alfonso is in there for a strike. We are all even at 1-1.
And Kevin, it's just now 6:31, so on a normal day, we'd be just starting, and we're halfway through.
That's right. Here is the 1-1 to Giovanni Alfonso. That one gets away and down low for a ball. A 2-1 count here as the Rockers still lead this game 3-1. This would be a big win to start this series off for the Rockers. After this, only 9 more home games left. This one hit high in the air by Giovanni Alfonso. Valerio is there, makes the catch. 4 out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And here comes Steven Cardullo as we flip over and go back to the top of the lineup here. And I guess technically after this game there's 8 more home games because you got that double header on Wednesday. So 9 if you count.
Yeah, it counts as 2 different games.
It counts as 2. What I'm saying, for a fan,
8 more days.
8 more days of games. 9 games left. I'm just saying for planning purposes.
Gotcha.
Cardullo hits this one on the ground, the first pitch. Garcia throws this one over to first for out number 2. And this is a very pitcher-friendly inning. This might single-handedly get Hayes to be able to get through 6 here.
I think he's certainly in the conversation for that. How about the final line for Craig Stem? 4 2/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, but 9 strikeouts and only 1 run allowed.
Jared Mitchell coming up here to the plate for the Rockers with already 2 outs in this inning as that one gets outside. 1-0. We're 1 out away from headed to the 6th inning. This game started at 5 o'clock if you're just joining us here at 6:30. The 1-0 to Mitchell, and that one is in there for a strike, 1-1.
Only one other game in progress right now. The Somerset Patriots and New Britain Bees were postponed today, I assume, for that. There's a pretty big storm system that's in the northwest or northeast right now.
The pitch to Mitchell, it was 1-1. He fouled that one away. Makes it a 1-2 count. 2 outs.
So the only other game tonight, the Ducks and Barnstormers. And right now, the Long Island Ducks with a 2-1 lead, bottom of the 4th inning. Josh Bell with a home run for the Barnstormers, but a 2-run home run for David Washington, and that's why they are 2-1 Ducks in the fourth.
The 1-2 to Mitchell. That one is a ball. 2-2, 2 outs.
Now, if I remember correctly, Washington did not play in that series against High Point, correct? You were talking about...
Yeah, he did not. He was here as a base coach, if you remember. He was here in and around,
right.
But he did not play in that game, and that was a big loss for the Ducks. Mitchell hits this one in the right field, right to Silva. And that will be the third out of the inning, so an very pitcher-friendly inning for John Hayes. We're at the top of the sixth, but at your Rockers, you still have a 2-run lead, 3-1. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out
number 23, Tony Thomas.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with Kendrick Fruits. Dusty Isaacs back on the mound here on the top of the sixth. The first pitch to Tony Thomas, the new batter, as he tips that one back into the net. Foul for a strike. It's an 0-1 count for him. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us as the Rockers host the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. They lead 3-1. Here's the 0-1 to Thomas. That one is a ball, 1-1 as it got up near him. The difference-making play so far in this game, after the Rockers scored one run, it was Matt Jones who had a 2 RBI single to make it 3-1. Here's the 1-1 to Tony Thomas. That one was outside. He chased after it for strike 2, 1-2, no outs.
Thomas struck out twice so far today. John Griffin, the last hitter of the last inning, 3 strikeouts in his 3 trips.
The 1-2 to Tony Thomas. That one is a ball, 2-2.
In fact, the middle 4 in the lineup right now, 0 for 9, 9 strikeouts.
The 2-2 to Thomas. Hector Gomez, a leaping grab as that one was hit sharp right down the third base line. Gomez goes airborne for it and makes the catch. What a play by the third baseman.
Takes away a rocket line drive single off the bat of Tony Thomas. Gomez has played a very good third base, and he's playing deep enough there, knowing that Thomas can hit with power. And I think those couple of steps further back gave him that split second he needed to react and make a fantastic leaping catch.
Great catch by Hector Gomez. Corey Vaughn at the plate here for the Blue Crabs. The first pitch to him, he fouls that one back, 0-1.
Pretty smooth sailing for the Rockers so far today. They're not blowing away the Blue Crabs by any means, but offense got going early, and they've had good pitching. It feels good after losing 3 straight.
The 0-1 to Vaughn, and that one is fouled away. They were shut out last night, correct?
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, so you get shut out and you can score in the third inning. That makes you feel pretty good, and then you come back with 2 more courtesy of Matt Jones in the 4th. You're in a 3-1 game here in the top of the 6th inning. You had some good pitching from Stem, and now you have Isaacs who is trying to get you through 6 here. This one's hit on the ground. Russell makes a nice play. The throw over to first gets away from Russell, and that's actually going to move Corey Vaughn over to second base. So you go from thinking you had 2 outs as now 1 out and Vaughn over at second. Can't criticize the play by Russell too much. If he doesn't make that throw quickly, Vaughn's going to make it to first no matter what. So he had to get that throw off as fast as he could, and unfortunately just not on target there, and it's going to move Vaughn over to second. 1 out in the inning, though.
Yeah, really nice job to get to that ball, but
yeah.
he didn't set his feet, and it kind of had the ball sail on him, so it's an E4, and it goes into the dugout to allow the runner to take second base as well, and the ball going out of play.
Charlie Valerio was showing bunt. That one is in there for a strike. 0-1, 1 out. Valerio is the 6th hitter in the lineup here for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Once again, worth noting, Dean Green not in the lineup here today. Here's the 0-1 to Valerio. That one fouled away. I didn't see anything. I think he's active, so I would assume just a day off here for Dean Green. I'm sure we'll see him later in the series. 0-2, 1 out. Valerio at the plate. Vaughn at second. Here's the 0-2 to Valerio. That one gets down. Great block by Matt Jones. If that gets behind him, that could be trouble.
You mentioned guys that we have not seen today. You were talking about Dean Green. We have a good pitching matchup going tomorrow. Kevin McGovern for the Blue Crabs and Joe Van Meter for the Rockers. Van Meter comes in 8-4. Might be the Rockers' first 10-game winner. It's tied with Asher Tolliver, 8 wins for the team lead.
Pretty amazing when you look at what Tolliver's been able to do in the bullpen to come out and play the way he has and pick up 10 wins this year. Shows you how close these Rocker games have been, that they've been up for grabs so many times in those middle innings. The 1-2 to Valerio. He swings and misses. Strikeout, out number 2.
Yeah, Tolliver and Van Meter both with 8 wins right now. We talked about the race to 20 home runs. This is kind of a similar equivalent, the race to 10 wins for pitchers.
Here comes Joe Benson.
Benson has walked twice today.
Runner on second, and Corey Vaughn. With Dean Green out of the lineup, Vaughn probably the most powerful hitter in this lineup for Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
I think both he and Tony Thomas.
Yeah, Tony Thomas as well. Vaughn, I think Thomas a little bit more consistent. Vaughn, a little bit more power.
That's, yeah, quite fair, quite accurate.
If you're worried about guys who can take you deep, Green and Vaughn fit that category. If you're worried about guys who can get a hit on you anytime, any at-bat, that's Tony Thomas who fits that category.
Who just so happens to have a little power as well.
Oh, he'll hit one out on you as well. The 1-0, and that one gets down 2-0, 2 outs. Benson is the tying run at the plate. Dusty Isaacs trying to get through 1 1/3 innings work here. He's gone through 1 inning's work so far. Here is the 2-0. A swing there makes it 2-1. A nice comeback pitch for Dusty Isaacs. If you go back to that last out he had, that connects a full inning here with the 2 outs he's got here. He's looking to get that 3rd out here and go 1 1/3 innings pitched. And just some stretching down in the bullpen, so he might come out and do a little extra. We're not sure. The 2-1 to Benson. That one is a ball, 3-1.
Yeah, threw that 2-0 pitch for a swing and strike, a curveball. Tried to go back with it there, but had to settle for taking a ball there as that pitch was outside. Was trying to make it close, but obviously it wasn't enough to get Benson to try to chase.
The 3-1 to Benson, who swings at it there. That's a 3-2 count now, so Isaacs has worked his way back into it. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on second for Vaughn. Benson is the tying run at the plate. Here's the 3-2 from Isaacs. That's strike 3. As Benson gets called looking there, gets caught looking as that one is a strikeout, called strike 3. And that will end the inning here as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-1. Nice stuff so far by Dusty Isaacs, who's gone 1 1/3 inning pitched. Rockers lead 3-1. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball as we head to the top, or the bottom rather, of the 6th inning. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits, Hector Gomez at the plate. The first pitch to him is a ball. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 3-1 game. The High Point Rockers lead by 2. It was Matt Jones who hit an RBI single, 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 4th, and that has been the difference. Hector Gomez hits one into left field. Forget about it. Send it. A solo shot by Hector Gomez. You want to talk about insurance. He adds a little bit more here, 4-1, as Gomez helps the Rockers go up by 3.
How about home run number 10 for Hector Gomez as he joins the double-digit club here today with an absolute smash into left field.
Richie Schaefer showing respect, bowing down to the legendary Hector Gomez there. 4-1. Rockers lead by 3. 10 home runs by Hector Gomez. Quincy Lattimore at the plate now, 1-0, and how about that? A 4-1 lead for the Rockers now after the Gomez home run.
Wow.
Lattimore fouls that one away, 1-1.
Not only that, he's just extended his team lead in RBIs to 69. So he looks like a sure bet to be the first Rocker to 70. Lattimore second on the team with 64.
The 2-1 to Quincy Lattimore. That went in there for a strike, 2-2.
You talked about Hayes having a good chance to get through this inning. He is at 88 pitches right now, so he definitely has a chance to. That one just misses, the count goes full. That was pitch number 89 and nobody up in the Southern Maryland bullpen, so it looks like they're going to give Hayes a chance to finish this sixth frame.
The 3-2 to Lattimore. He fouls that one back.
That's one he probably should have let go for ball 4.
Not a bad pitch, though. He fouled it back and kind of stayed alive there, so not bad. The 3-2 to Lattimore. There's ball 4. This will go over to first base now. Nobody out, and doesn't get any easier for Hayes. Here comes Richie Schaefer with a man on first and Quincy Lattimore.
Schaefer, the team leader, 23 home runs. It was about a week or so ago. He just went on a torrid tear.
A big swing from Schaefer makes it 0-1.
Somebody's up and throwing in the High Point bullpen now, so I believe Dusty Isaacs is through for the day. But he did a very nice job.
The 0-1 to Schaefer as he tips that one back 0-2.
Came in, gave up one base hit, but other than that, retired just about everybody he faced other than that error as well. But got the job done and left the inherited runner stranded on base. So a good outing for Dusty Isaacs. Good 6 innings for High Point pitchers here tonight.
The 0-2 to Schaefer. He fouls that one away into the net. 0-2, no outs. 4-1 lead after the Hector Gomez home run. Quincy Lattimore over at first after the walk to him. Here's the pitch to Schaefer. He swings, tipped that one into the glove of Valerio. Strikeout. So Richie Schaefer goes down on strikes. Here comes Michael Russell with 1 out. Runner on first in Quincy Lattimore after a walk. He's had 2 walks and a single today. Let's see what Russell can do with 1 out here. Russell, first pitch swinging. It's going to get out of play, foul down the right field line.
Russell hitting at an even 300. The road trip to Sugar Land, not particularly good one for Michael Russell, as he has seen his average dip a little bit as of late, but certainly capable hitter who's been above the 300 mark for quite some time now.
The 0-1 to Michael Russell. That one takes a bounce. 1-1, 1 out. Four to 1, Rocker lead. Here's the 0-1 to Russell. That one down for a ball. Excuse me, the 1-1, so now it's 2-1.
Kevin, I just wanted to mention again, because we talked about it before 6:30, and just in case anybody tuned in thinking today was a 6:30 game, we do not have a game Thursday anymore. Thursday's game has been moved to a Wednesday doubleheader.
2-2, and maybe you're somebody who had your heart set on coming out on Thursday night for a $1 beer. Well, do not worry. Wednesday night is still $1 beer night.
First game starts at 5, is that right?
5 o'clock. Both games are 7 innings. So that makes for a quick homestand there. Here's the 2-2. As that one takes a bounce off the front of home plate, that'll move Quincy Lattimore over to second.
Yeah, wild pitch off the front of the dish there, and that took quite a hop over everybody, and an easy advancement for Lattimore.
Three to 2 is the count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lattimore dancing at second base. Here's the full count to Russell. He hits this one high in foul territory. McAdams not there. That one just gets into the crowd.
He had to go a long way, covered a lot of distance trying to track that baseball down.
3-2 count, 1 out. The 3-2 to Russell. He fouls that one back, 1 out.
Another really nice at-bat by a Rockers hitter as there's a lefty up in the bullpen now for the Blue Crabs. This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat to Michael Russell.
Full count, 1 out. The 3-2. And this one is hit right to Hayes. The throw over to first. The throw to third. They wanted the double play. They don't get it. So that's going to move Quincy Lattimore over to third. It'll be 1 out because Russell was thrown out to first base. But it'll move Lattimore over to third and give 2 outs in this ball game, 4-1. The Rockers lead by 3.
That was very interesting. Hayes did not even look at Lattimore at second base. Usually if a pitcher fields a ground ball, you look him back to the bag first, but he didn't even look, which allowed Lattimore, I think, to get a step or two on his way to third.
0-1 count, 2 outs. As the first pitch to Miles Schroeder is a strike. Schroeder hits this one on the ground over to first. McAdams takes it himself for out number 3. We head to the 7th inning now. We'll be right back. The Rockers lead 4-1 after a solo home run by Hector Gomez. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Kendrick, I'm so sorry, but you lose the first round. All right, it's 1-0 Austin. Kendrick, are you ready to redeem yourself?
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with Kendrick Fruits. 4-1. The Rockers lead by 3. New pitcher here for the High Point Rockers. It's Chase Hutchinson. The first pitch here to Josh McAdams is inside for a ball, 1-0.
He's been one of the best pitchers for High Point this year. 5-3, 2.37 ERA, 47 strikeouts, and 49 innings. This is his 50th appearance.
The pitch to McAdams is a ball, 2-0.
Also the subject of this week's podcast.
He is. He did a great job. Here's the pitch to McAdams. This one hit hard into center field. Bat flip and all. See ya. That is a big home run. That one actually bounced off of the gate or the flagpole and bounced back in. Wow, what a hit by Josh McAdams. That makes it 4-2.
That one hit a long way. Miles Schroeder, I don't even think took more than 2 steps towards it. Kind of just turned around and watched it as it hit off of one of those brick columns out there.
Wow. That's a far way. That's basically out of the ballpark. Then it bounced back into the field.
Yeah, the columns in between the gates out there. So that tells you how far that went. That's the 6th home run this year for McAdams.
Just like that, a 2-run game. This one hit on the ground by Ruby Silva. Hutchinson the third of first for out number 1 here in the inning. And when you have a 3-run lead, you can give up a home run like that because you have a little bit of extra, run insurance, and you get Silva to hit one on the ground to you. So just like that, you have 1 out. And really not the end of the world here for Chase Hutchinson and the High Point Rockers. It's still a 4-2 game.
Sure, and the fact that you get 1 pitch on 1 out immediately after, it's a good bounce back, and obviously Hutchinson's head's still in the right place here.
And the pitch to Kent Blackstone was a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 to Blackstone, and that one is down for a ball, 2-0. The 2-0, that one down for a ball, 3-0, 1 out.
Missing low here to Blackstone on all of his pitches. Blackstone 0 for 3, struck out his last time up.
The 3-0 to Blackstone. That one in there for strike, 3-1.
Matt Jones still can't find the ball. He finally did. It was sitting right below his leg.
This is the top of the 7th inning. (3-1) here, and that is ball 4 to Kent Blackstone. So a home run, a quick ground ball back to Hutchinson for an out. So 1 out in the inning, but now a walk here to Kent Blackstone. And that actually comes in and hits Edwin Garcia. So now there are runners on first and second in a 4-2 game with a tying run now at first base in Garcia.
Kevin, you said a moment ago, you can afford to give up that home run with a 3-run lead. Now things kind of shift a little bit. You have 2 guys on. You mentioned the tying run being on base, and all of a sudden you kind of feel like you don't necessarily have a luxury or a cushion anymore like you did moments ago.
But it puts your double play intact.
It does.
So you get a quick ground ball, you're right out of the inning. However, it makes scoring and tying this ball game a lot easier here for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. 4-2. Is the score here. 2 runs separate the Blue Crabs and the Rockers. Here's the pitch. That one down low for a ball, 1-0.
And if you're John Griffin at the plate, the 2 things you don't want to do, A, hit into a double play, or B, strike out for the 4th time today. If you're Hutchinson, you need to play to both of those strengths.
The 1-0, that one in there for a strike to Griffin, 1-1, 1 out.
Real quick update, Long Island and Lancaster. When I mentioned the score was 2-1 in the 4th inning, it's 2-1 in the 4th inning. They are delayed by rain. So nothing has changed there since we last visited.
The 1-1, and that one almost got away from Jones. Luckily, he was able to catch that and keep it in front of him. A 2-1 count, 1 out. Runners on first and second.
Yeah, very athletic play by Matt Jones there to get out of his crouch quickly and snag that ball.
Blackstone at second. Garcia at first. Trevor Frank is in the bullpen. Here is the 2-1 to Griffin. Griffin hits this one hard into right field, and it hits off of Jared Mitchell, so it's going to stay into the ballpark, but it's going to score one. They hold Garcia up, and Jones almost tagged Blackstone when he came back with his glove. Blackstone will come in to score, and that'll make it a 4-3 game, but that was a foot away from leaving the ballpark and turning this into a 5-4 ball game.
Yeah, that one hit really hard into right center field off the bat of John Griffin, and he just found a pitch up high. It was a mistake pitch to Griffin, and he almost made Hutchinson pay. Well, he did a little bit, allowing 1 run, but it could have been a lot worse.
A lot worse. Now here's Tony Thomas with 2 runners in scoring position. He fouls that one hard off of the dugout, 0-1.
Thomas hitting right around 260, but he's got 9 home runs and 38 RBIs. 261 to be exact. He struck out twice today. And hit that really hard line drive, the great play that Hector Gomez made there at third base earlier.
4-3, the Rockers lead. Rockers want to keep it that way. Here's the 0-1 to Thomas. That one outside for a ball, 1-1. The difference maker right now came in the bottom of the 6th inning, a solo home run by Hector Gomez.
Rockers have brought the infield in. They're going to cut down the run at the plate if they can.
They want to keep the lead. Hutchinson still on the mound. Here's the 1-1 to Thomas. Tony Thomas hits this one hard into left field, make it center field. That is a 3-run home run. And Tony Thomas hits his 10th home run of the year. And just like that, one swing of the bat gives the Blue Crabs the lead, and that makes it 6-4. What a 7th inning here for the Blue Crabs as they come together to score 5 runs in the inning. And that'll be the end of the night here for Chase Hutchinson. They are going wild over there on the Blue Crab side of the field. They are splashing water everywhere. They are loving it. What a comeback here for the Blue Crabs. Still plenty of baseball left to be played. Hutchinson will come out of the game. This will bring in Trevor Frank, who comes into a situation that changed a little bit since he got up. 6-4. What a comeback here for the Blue Crabs. Still plenty of time for the Rockers, but we'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark here. It's a different game. Since we last spoke just moments ago, Trevor Frank in the ball game now. The first pitch to Corey Vaughn with one out here in the top of the seventh inning is a ball. I had ball. Did you have strike there?
To tell you the truth, I was looking at our new pitcher statistics and did not see the pitch.
I was looking up at the board. It's not Corey Vaughn, so we'll give you the count momentarily here. The pitch from Trevor Frank. That one down for a ball. I believe the count to be 2-0.
New pitcher Trevor Frank, 3-4 record, 4.63 ERA, 46 strikeouts in 46 innings.
How many saves does he have this year?
He has 12 saves.
Started the year as the primary closer for the Rockers.
Filled in nicely when Kelly was injured as well.
Here's the pitch from Frank, and that one is a ball. And it's 2-1 count. So we do have clarification that it was an opening strike by Trevor Frank.
And Trevor Frank's 4.63 ERA, a little bit misleading when you look at his game logs.
Here is the 2-1 from Frank. There's ball 3-1.
Trevor Frank will go 2 or 3 weeks of practically perfect outings. But then he has one that just is not good, to put it simply. But then he'll be great again for 3 weeks, then have another really bad one. Then he'll be great, and then just have the one bad game.
He's looking for that consistency. There's a great pitch right there. Makes it a 3-2 count. 1 out. How about the Blue Crabs? They explode for 5 runs here in this inning. They get it done with the help of 2 home runs. Tony Thomas's home run was the difference maker. The 3-2 pitch, and Corey Vaughn goes down swinging. How about a strikeout by Trevor Frank here in the 7th?
He sure looks sharp here in this first at-bat, throwing a lot of swing and miss stuff there. And Vaughn's a dangerous hitter, too, so if you strike him out, that's no small thing.
Charlie Valerio, the batter now. The first pitch to Valerio. He swings at that one. Hits it into the back of the net there. 0-1, 2 outs.
Valerio, a trio of strikeouts so far today.
0-1 count. 2 outs here. Valerio at the plate. Trevor Frank on the mound. The 0-1 to Valerio. He fouls that one up. But out of play. 0-2. 2 outs here in the inning. Frank coming in here and trying to get the Rockers out of what's been a very long top of the 7th inning.
Not 1, but 2 home runs off of the brick that's out there in the center field gate.
The 0-2 to Valerio. That one down for a ball, 1-2. And you and I were talking in the break. Griffin probably should have had a home run there. That one just stayed in. It hit off the glove of Jared Mitchell and stayed in the park. Mitchell kind of saved that one. I think if no one was there, that one would have hit the yellow and would have had to been called a home run. The 1-2 to Valerio. Good looking pitch. And that will strike him out as he goes down looking. He can't believe it. Trevor Frank has a nice inning there and gets the Rockers out of trouble there as they close the inning. But how about the comeback by the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs? It's complete for now. Can they finish up and win the game? We'll have to wait and see as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rockers will have at least 3 more chances here. 6-4. The Blue Crabs lead. 2 big home runs gives them the lead. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball stretch time here at the ballpark.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you here at the ballpark. We thank you so much for joining us here on Labor Day. A new pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs as Matt Jones comes to the plate. Who might that be?
This is Adam Choplik, 3-2 on the year, 2.30 ERA. He's been a fantastic member of the Blue Crabs bullpen this year. As Jones swings and misses strike one. This is appearance number 43 for him, 47 innings, 55 strikeouts. So a guy with a lot of swing and miss stuff.
Bottom of the 7th inning. 0-1 count here for Matt Jones. The 0-1 from Choplin. This one hit right back to him. He makes the throw over to first. To McAdams for out number 1. And Choplik with a big-time play there. And speaking of big, he is 6'9", and on that mound, he is 7 feet tall. Giovanni Alfonso makes his way to the plate here, and Choplik with a quick 1 out, I think, off of 2 pitches there. 6-4 is the lead. All of a sudden, it's the Crabs playing with a 2-run lead. That one hit high, or excuse me, thrown high. So that'll be a ball, 1-0.
Alfonso 1 for 2 today, singled his first at-bat, was eliminated on an attempted double play later in that inning.
The 1-0 to Alfonso as he tips that one back, 1-1. That one is strike there. 1-2, 1 out. Choplik looking for a quick inning here. It was a long half inning there in the top of the 7th. Here's the 1-2 to Giovanni Alfonso. That one is a ball, 2-2.
Trevor Frank did a really nice job in his outings so far. It looks like they're going to let it continue with nobody up in the High Point bullpen.
Definitely not an easy situation where he got called up there.
No, you got to come in and stop the bleeding quick, and that's exactly what he did.
Still plenty of time here for the Rockers. Only 2 runs. Here's the 2-2. Alfonso fouls this one back. If you're the Rockers, you'd love for Giovanni Alfonso to get on base here, and so the Rockers could get something going quickly here. And even if you only score 1 run, you make it a little bit easier for you throughout the rest of the game. As time, not necessarily on the side here of the Rockers as we are late. Here is the 2-2. Alfonso showing bunt, and that one hit a far away foul off nearly the handle of the bat there. 2-2, 1 out.
He tried that his last at-bat, too. Got to 2 strikes and tried to lay down the bunt to see if he could catch the defense napping, but unfortunately, both for Alfonso and the Rockers, wasn't able to do so either time.
He's probably the fastest guy on the team. He has a lot of speed.
Don't let Jared Mitchell hear
I would say
that.
him and Jared Mitchell are probably the fastest 2 guys on the team. Hector Gomez with a lot of speed as well. So there is the 2-2 to Alfonso. A swing there. Strike 3. Choplick looking great so far here in this inning.
Yeah, 2 quick outs, and Steven Cardulo coming up now. He's looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3.
Choplick has thrown 9 pitches here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Cardulo, and I thought that one caught him on the foot there. It did bounce, and you saw the white powder pop up there in the batter's box, so it hit the paint there, not him. 1-0. The Colorado Rocky turned High Point Rocker, Steven Cardulo. The 1-0 to Dulo, and that one is in there for a strike 1-1.
I feel like at some point I've mixed them up. I think I've said Colorado Rockers or High Point Rockies. It's just too similar.
The 1-1, and that one is way above the letters on the jersey for a ball. 2-1, 2 outs.
Yeah, head-high fastball, usually a pretty easy take, and Cardulo demonstrating just that there.
Choplick 2 strikes away from getting out of the inning here. He did well with Matt Jones and Giovanni Alfonso. He's at 12 pitches now. The 2-1 to Cardulo. Cardulo hits this one high, but it's in left field, and it's going to be caught by Benson for out number 3 as Benson rockets it into the crowd for some lucky fans out there. 6-4, the Blue Crabs still lead by 2 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Trevor Frank will make his way back out on the mound here for the Rockers. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. Thanks so much for spending your Labor Day with us. We'll be right back. Rockers trail 6-4.
Time for the 7th inning selfie brought to you by Circle K.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back, everybody, to BB&C Point. Kev McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you in the top of the 8th inning. It's Trevor Frank here, back on the mound for the High Point Rockers after a nice bottom of the 7th inning where he helped come in and get the Rockers out of trouble to end the 7th inning as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Joe Benson here at the plate for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The second pitch to him is a ball in a similar spot, but just missed 1-1.
Yeah, he got back-to-back strikeouts back in the 7th inning after coming in relief of Hutchinson. And, you know, if you're Trevor Frank, we've seen him go 3 innings before. Maybe he won't do it here, but he can give the Rockers a little help out of the bullpen right now because they're tired.
The 1-1 to Benson, and that one's in there for a strike, 1-2. One-two count. Joe Benson here in the top of the 8th inning. Here is the 1-2 from Trevor Frank. That one a ball. 2-2, no outs. 2-run deficit is what the Rockers are faced with right now. Play of the game so far was that Tony Thomas 3-run home run. That came in a 4-3 game at the time. Here is the 2-2 from Frank. Benson swings and misses.
Yeah, really nice pitch there. He throws a little off-speed pitch that starts near the bottom of the strike zone, looks like it's going to stay there, and then last minute it just kind of dives under the plane of that strike zone. And really, as a hitter, you feel kind of helpless there because that looks like a strike until the last minute, and that's why Trevor Frank is so dominant with a sharp, late-breaking off-speed pitch.
Frank hot out of the bullpen. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for him. Going back to the last inning, I have him as a strikeout on Corey Vaughn as well. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so striking out Vaughn. He got Valerio to go down looking, and then he just got Benson. Here's the first pitch to Mick Adams, and that one is in there for a strike. 0-1, 1 out.
Rockers pitchers have been streaky with the strikeouts today. 4 of them in a row for Stem, 4 of them again in a row for Stem, and here's Trevor Frank with 3.
Pretty incredible that the Blue Crabs have 7 hits and 6 runs when you look at how many times they've struck out today. Here's the 0-1 to Mick Adams, and Frank is 1 strike away from another strikeout here.
In fact, Rockers pitchers 15 strikeouts today.
I'm not sure what the team total is for a single game, but I want to say we're getting close, but we've had guys by themselves throw 12, so who knows how close we are.
Well, if they strike out the side this inning and next inning, that's an even 20. Think about it, though. There are 27 outs in a ball game, so the Rockers have already struck out over half of the outs here in this game.
And then you give credit to the Rocker pitching, then you turn and have to give credit to the Blue Crabs. More than half of you have struck out, and you still score 6 runs here. Here's the 1-2, and that one close, but a ball, 2-2. You know, more than half the Blue Crabs go down on strikeouts, and they've scored. I would call it small ball, even though the 1 run they scored should have been a home run, basically. Mm-hmm. But you know, they've hit 2 home runs and scored in other ways as well. They've put a lot together today.
And Kevin, what that tells me is they're able to make the most of the mistakes from the Rockers pitchers. When the Rockers pitchers are making their pitches, you see what happens. They're sending guys back to the Blue Crabs dugout with consistency. But when the Rockers pitchers make mistakes, Southern Maryland is right there to capitalize.
The 2-2 to McAdams. Another strikeout for Trevor Frank. Make that 4 in a row. 2 outs. So since being in the game, Trevor Frank has come through. He's pitched 1 1/3 or 4 outs, 4 outs is probably an easier way to look at it. And or 1 2/3, I should say. No, 1 1/3 was right. Yeah, 1 1/3 was right. So 4 outs.
yourself short.
Yeah, 4 outs, and all 4 of those outs have come courtesy of a strikeout. Ruby Silva is at the plate now. And this one is hit sky high. And it is Schroeder who is there to make the catch in center field. So Trevor Frank comes in and gets 5 outs in a row here, dipping back into last inning. And he has looked good. Also, 4 strikeouts on the night. Depending on what happens here, he's a guy who can go 3. I wonder if we'll see him in the 9th inning. We'll have to wait and see. The Rockers need some runs. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Crabs lead 6-4. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. Does appear that we have a new pitcher here in the ball game for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Jared Mitchell makes his way to the plate here as the Rockers have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters scheduled to come up here in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 6-4 game. We'll give you the name of that pitcher in just a second here, and I'll give you the rest of his numbers as well. That's James Dykstra. The pitch from Dykstra is a ball 1-0. Let's meet him now.
3-2, 3.15 ERA, 33rd appearance. He has 40 innings of work, 44 strikeouts. So you can tell by the live fastball right here, he's a guy with some pretty nasty stuff.
The 1-0 to Mitchell, and that one is a ball as well up near the head, 2-0.
And it looks like Matt Latos up in the bullpen for Southern Maryland, one of the best closers in the Atlantic League. Starting to get a couple warm-up tosses in here.
The 2-0 to Jared Mitchell. He tips that one back 2-1.
Mitchell today, 0 for 2, is also walked. Rockers had a lead for the majority of the game, but they're in jeopardy of tying their season-long 4-game losing streak today.
The 2-1 to Mitchell, and that one's in there for a strike, 2-2.
Very delayed strike call there on Jared Mitchell. He turned back and looked at the home plate umpire before the call was made. He said, what was it?
The 2-2 to Mitchell as he hits that one up here in basically the infield, as Garcia, the shortstop, is the one who handles it. For out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So this brings up Hector Gomez in a 6-4 game. Listen to that.
Fan favorites here at BB&T Point, not too hard to spot.
That was a great reaction. That might be one of the best reactions we've heard all year long. And the crowd's getting into it here on Labor Day. They know if the Rockers are if they're going to make a move to win this game, they have to go now.
Are you saying they have work to do on Labor Day?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Here's the thing. Rockers have talent top to bottom in this lineup, but when you look at it, statistically speaking, the part of their lineup that hits the best is this 2, 3, 4, 5 part of their lineup. However, some of the biggest contributions tonight have come from the 8 and 9 hitters in Giovanni Alfonso and Matt Jones. But this is the part of your lineup that is always ready to go, especially in the clutch. So you'd love to get guys like Hector Gomez and Quincy Lattimore on with a guy like Richie Schaefer in the hole. Here's the 0-2 to Gomez. That one takes a bounce. 1-2, 1 out.
Yeah, you mentioned Matt Jones, directly responsible for 3 of the Rockers' 4 runs with 2 RBIs and a run scored. But again, the top of the lineup, as you mentioned, just equally as capable of getting the job done. Gomez at 69 RBIs after that home run that he hit in his last at-bat, so trying to become the first Rocker to 70.
That was a huge hit by Hector Gomez, a solo home run.
A lot of insurance at the time.
Here is the 1-2, and that one's upstairs for a ball, 2-2. At the time, that made it a 4-1 game, and you had Stem on the mound who got into a little bit of trouble and had to come, still a great outing, had to come out of the game 4 2/3 innings.
I also checked on that, 85 pitches as well, so that's a pretty solid number of pitches in your first outing with the team.
And he was in the 5th inning, so if he didn't get out of it, do you want him to get up near 100 in the 5th inning? Probably not. Here is the 2-2 to Hector Gomez. This one could be trouble, as coming all the way in from deep center field was Vaughn, who tracks it down to make the catch. And just like that, there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're 1 out away from the 9th. 1 run would make a huge difference heading into the 9th inning if you're the High Point Rockers, as the Rockers are going to try to hold this lead to 2, and it's getting a little bit darker here, so it's harder to see down into the bullpen. The sleeves would allow me to guess that it's my guess would be Kelly, but I think it's Brian Clark.
Yeah, it is Brian Clark.
I saw the sleeves. He has the sleeves, kind of the 3/4 going, which is a Ryan Kelly signature, but the taller frame in the left-hand pitcher tells me Brian Clark.
Quincy Lattimore, of course, does some of his best damage with 2 outs, so a good situation here to try to trim the lead down to 1.
Here is the 1-0 to Lattimore, and that's in there for a strike. So it's 1-1, 2 outs here in a 6-4 game.
And you talk about how dynamic this part of the lineup is for the Rockers, and it almost feels like a missed opportunity if you go through 2, 3, 4, 5 without coming up with a run.
The 1-1 to Lattimore. That one in there for a strike as well. It was a little high, but ABS and the home plate umpire say that one is in there for strike 2. Thomas Newsom delivering the news. The 1-2, Lattimore fouls that one back to stay alive. 1-2, 2 outs.
And that's a really nice adjustment there by Quincy Lattimore. I know he fouled it off, but a pitch in that same location previously called a strike. He wasn't sure about it, but hey, he knows this is going to be called now. So this time he swings on it, makes contact with it, keeps the at-bat going.
1-2, 2 outs. Here is the 1-2 to Lattimore. A swing there as he is tagged there to confirm strike 3. And that'll bring an end to the 8th inning. We're to the 9th. But Richie Schaefer will lead things off for the Rockers in the bottom of the 9th. So still some options here for the Rockers. Baseball still yet to be played here. There's still more to be played, but it is a 6-4 lead that the Blue Crabs still have as Brian Clark comes out to the mound here in the 9th inning for the Rockers. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe.
Welcome back here to BB&T Point. Happy Labor Day, everybody, as we're here in the 9th inning. Brian Clark, the first pitch to Kent Blackstone. As that one is a ball, 1-0. No outs here as we are just starting the 9th inning. The 1-0 from Clark. Gomez tracking it in foul territory as that one just gets out of play.
Well, Gomez is shown to be one of the best guys as far as knowing where that boundary is down there, the third base side. So if he can't make a play on it, then nobody's going to be able to get to it.
Brian Clark comes in with 3 wins, 3 losses, a 2.27 ERA. And 37 strikeouts. The pitch there to Blackstone was outside for a ball, so it's a 2-1 count, no outs.
The big innings, what hurt the Rockers so far today. You take that out, and the Rockers have a feel-good victory. Still time, obviously.
But they would feel very comfortable in the lead that they had right now if it wasn't for that 5-run 7th inning that the Blue Crabs have. Want to talk about having a big inning, having a big moment. That was a big one right there. In a 2-2 count here, 2-run game. Brian Clark trying to keep it a 2-run game. Here is the 2-2 from Clark. This one hit foul out of the stadium.
Especially when you consider that inning included 2 home runs, was about a foot away from including back-to-back home runs.
The 2-2. This one hit hard on the ground to shortstop. Alfonso makes the throw. Cardullo, the stretch. Got him at first base. What a play to get the speedy Blackstone at first.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic job. He kind of reached out and poked a soft liner over there to Giovanni Alfonso. The throw a little bit up the first baseline, but Cardullo, fantastic job being able to extend himself and keep the foot on the bag.
The pitch to Garcia was down for a ball, 1-0. Edwin Garcia, the new batter here, 1 out in the inning. The 1-0 to Garcia, and that one is a ball as well, 2-0.
Kevin, I looked at the booth next door. They have the Houston Astros Milwaukee Brewers game on in there, and I think I saw the most interesting bit of trivia ever in regards to Justin Verlander's no-hitter yesterday.
That one in there for a strike, 2-1.
He became the first ever pitcher to throw two no-hitters in a visiting park for two different teams.
I think I knew that, actually, because I knew that he threw one against the Blue Jays as a Tiger. That pitch was close to Garcia, and that is strike 2. Wasn't just close, it was a strike, 2-2. 2-2, 1 out.
He's a prime example of a guy who already had Hall of Fame credentials as a Tiger, but he just seems to get even better with age.
Here's the 2-2. Garcia hits this one on the ground. Another tough play for Giovanni Alfonso at short. The throw to Cardullo. Another great play at first base by him. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. 6-4 is the score. Garcia goes down, and here's John Griffin.
The Cupid shuffle says to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left. He makes Cardullo work to the left and to the right of both sides of the bag, stretching, making good catches on both sides.
2 outs here in the 9th inning. John Griffin at the plate. He's who stands in the way of Brian Clark and the Rockers getting to the bottom of the 9th while keeping this still a 2-2 game or a 6-4 game. A 2-run game, is what I was trying to say there. 1-0 to John Griffin. A beautiful sky is the backdrop here at BB&T Point.
So much nicer than the sky at Darlington Raceway yesterday.
Here is the 1-0 to Griffin. That one hit hard down the line. If it was fair, it's at least a single.
We sat through a 4-hour rain delay at the racetrack yesterday.
I was wondering, I'm not much of a NASCAR fan. I am a fan, but I don't follow it. I was wondering why it was so dark, why it went so late, because I don't remember that being a typical night race.
Yeah, well, it starts the day. Usually ends about 10 o'clock at night because they like that transition from daytime heat to the nighttime cooling. But
I hear you. Here is the pitch from Clark, and that is strike 2. 1-2, 2 outs to John Griffin.
Eric Jones took the checkered flag at 1:56 this morning.
Did you say the whole time?
Stayed for the whole thing, yep.
And you're on the air to talk about it the next day. How about that? Here's the 1-2, and that one just missed. 2-2.
Clark wanting to go with a real quick 1-2-3 inning here. You want to go ahead and...
The 2-2. Griffin fouls that one off of himself to stay alive here.
You're going to go ahead and put it in the fate of your offense. And as an offense at this point, if you're a guy coming up to hit for the Rockers in the bottom of the 9th inning, you just want to know, okay, we're down 2. This is what we have to do. But as long as Southern Maryland still has an out to work with, it's no guarantee what your deficit's going to be.
2 isn't easy, and you go, well, what's one run? What's one more run? But 3 feels like a lot, So
absolutely,
the Rockers want to keep it here, and they have a good guy on the mound here. Here's the 2-2. Did he do it? Brian Clark got him. Strike 3, and we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, 6-4. You know what time it is here as we're mid-9th. Rally Shark. That's right. We'll be right back. Rockers trail 6-4. Rockers and the Rally Shark try to turn it around next.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Now pitching for Southern Maryland.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Leading off for your High Point Rockers, left fielder, number 8.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen here in the bottom of the ninth inning. We welcome you back to BB&T Point on a great Labor Day. Beautiful sky here to end your Labor Day. Rocker fans are hoping they can end their Labor Day with a Rocker win. 2 runs stand in the way of that taking place. Richie Schaefer at the plate. Here's the first pitch. That one in there for a strike. The other person standing in the way is number 41, Matt Latos.
Yeah, so I have good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Matt Latos has 20 saves this year. He has a, get this, 1.01 ERA.
Wow.
Here's the good news. He has 4 losses, and I believe the Rockers have gotten to him twice.
The 0-1 from Latos, and the first pitch was impressive and a strike. The second pitch was a little out of control and down low for a ball, 1-1.
Latos, the former 9-year veteran of the major leagues. Most of that time spent with the San Diego Padres and the Cincinnati Reds.
And who can forget the first win the Rockers got over Latos, the Tyler Ladendorf home run. Here's the 1-1 to Schaefer. That one a ball, 2-1. That loss for Latos was the first walk-off win in Rocker history. Came off of a home run from the now Durham Bull, Tyler Ladendorf.
And that was a tie game at that point. The first blown save Latos had all year was also against the Rockers. A wild game. The Rockers ended up winning on a walk-off error.
The 2-1, and that one gets down and a little bit out of the zone, a little out of control for a ball, 3-1.
If you're Richie Schaefer here, I know you're the big power hitter on the team, but he knows that he's just as valuable as a base runner right now. So be willing to take ball 4 and let the guys behind you just keep the train going.
The 3-1 to Richie Schaefer. He hits this one into left field. Send it as it gets out for a solo shot. And just like that, Richie Schaefer brings his Rockers within 1 run. A leadoff home run in the top of the 9th inning. And the Rockers are 1 run away from tying this game. Number 24 on the season for Richie Schaefer.
Well, the other big thing about that home run is the fact that he did it with no out. So it's basically like you're starting the inning right now. So all of a sudden, instead of we need 2 runs here in the 9th inning, now it's we need 1 run and we have all 3 outs to work with.
Michael Russell comes up here with no outs in the inning. Here's the first pitch to Russell. He was trying to tie it up with 1 swing. That's a strike there, 0-1.
Here's a stat for you. Matt Latos has given up 3 home runs this year. 2 of them have come against the High Point Rockers.
How about that? The 0-1 to Russell, and Latos is throwing really hard. I think he's throwing harder after that home run, and he's somebody who's usually composed. I'm not saying he's unraveled right now, but he's very animated right now. So whatever you want to make of that, I think he's still got his composure, but he is very animated right now.
Well, he thought he should have gotten the call on that last pitch.
Here's the 1-1. He's showing a lot of emotion out there over the strike calls, or the lack thereof. That one is a ball as well, 2-1. He feels like he's very close.
I was trying to see what he was saying out there. I'm not sure if he was talking to Thomas Newsom or the catcher, Valerio, talking about where he's catching the ball.
The 2-1. Russell fouls that one back, 2-2. This is the 6th batter in the Rocker lineup. Two, no outs, 6-5 here in the bottom of the 9th inning here for the High Point Rockers. Blue Crabs 3 outs away from a win. Here is the 2-2 to Russell. He was showing bunt. That one goes foul. So because of the new Atlantic League rule that came in after the All-Star break, he will have a chance to bunt one more time if he wants to. I don't think he will.
While Latos was taking his warm-up pitches of this half inning, I saw Vio Sergi Rosa standing up and just limbering up here in the walkway area of the dugout. Not necessarily meaning we're going to see him here, but the guys on the bench getting ready.
The 2-2. Russell hits that one down towards McAdams, and that'll be the first out of the inning. That one was hit on the ground. McAdams was able to make the quick play on it.
It does seem like potentially the Rockers are entertaining the idea of pinch hitting for Giovanni Alfonso, which after Schroeder hits, we will see someone come out on deck, whether it's Alfonso or a pinch hitter.
Because currently Jones is on deck.
Your regularly scheduled 8-hitter.
1 out after the Russell ground out. Here is the pitch to Schroeder. That one down for a ball, 1-0. It's only 1 ball, but if you can get Schroeder on somehow, even if it's by a walk, that puts the tying run on base, and you have 2 outs to get him in.
Schroeder also has a little bit of pop with his bat. He's not necessarily a home run threat. I think he did a lot more damage home run-wise in the first half than he has in the second half, but he's a guy that can still go deep.
The 1-0. Schroeder hit it, took a big swing there. Was looking for a big hit. There's 1-1. One out. The 1-1 to Miles Schroeder. That one a ball, 2-1.
Latos is visibly unhappy right now at some of the calls or lack thereof that he's getting. saw by the way he snapped at that ball when it came back from Valerio.
2-1 count, 1 out, bottom of the ninth. The 2-1. That one would have been ball 3. But Schroeder was fooled there. He went for it. And that's going to happen when you got a great pitcher like Matt Latos. You know, it's not going to be easy. That was a nice pitch.
I mean,
easy for me to say up here. That would have been ball 3. That was a great looking pitch from Matt Latos.
He's not a 9-year veteran in the major leagues for nothing. He's a guy who knows exactly what he's doing out there.
It totally moved on him, too. It was a great pitch by Latos. The 2-2, and tried to do it again there. That one got away from him. Not as sharp there. So it's a full count. All the credit in the world to Miles Schroeder, who has hung in there in this count and made it a great hitter's count. 3-2. This is a huge moment here. One pitch could be the difference between a base runner and an out. Here's the 3-2. It's an out. There's a strikeout by Latos. And the Rockers are down to their last out. And
the catcher, number 17, Matt.
It'll be Matt Jones coming up here, your 8-hitter. I had my numbers mixed up. I think we're used to seeing Giovanni Alfonso as the 8th hitter sometimes, so I had my numbers mixed up. So Matt Jones is who comes up here.
And Alfonso comes out into the on-deck circle, so it looks like we will see him if Jones is able to reach.
The first pitch, a ball, 1-0.
He just called it a strike.
Oh, that was a... Was it a strike?
He stuck the hand out, yeah.
Because it was a long call, and Latos started barking from the mound, too, so I wasn't so sure. 0-1.
There's some very late calls from Newsom today.
So it is an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1, and that one is a strike, 0-2.
You really got to pause and keep a very close eye on him.
0-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning in a one-run game. The Rockers down to their last strike. 6-5. Here's the Matt Latos pitch. Jones fouls this one back. Is it playable? No, it will not be. Jones, a guy who you'd want up in this spot. He had a 2 RBI single. That gave the Rockers insurance at the time. He made a 1-0 game, a 3-0 game. He's also scored one of the other runs, so he's responsible for 3 of the 4 runs.
And he's also played hero before, a walk-off single on July 2nd for the High Point Rockers, so he's a guy who can come through in the clutch.
Rockers looking for a base runner here. Jones down to his last strike, bottom of the ninth. Latos on the mound. The 0-2, that one gets down for a ball, 1-2.
Obviously, when you're ahead 0-2 in the count like Latos was there, you can afford to waste one and just see if by any happenstance you can get the hitter to chase one, but Matt Jones obviously was not biting.
One, two outs. Bottom of the ninth. And a one-run game, 6-5 is the score. Here is the 1-2. Jones hits this one on the ground to Thomas at third. The throw to first to McAdams. And the comeback is complete here for Matt Latos and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It was a 5-run 7th inning that propelled the Blue Crabs to a huge come-from-behind victory over the High Point Rockers.
Yeah.
A tough way for it to end here for the Rockers tonight because they were great through 6 innings, looked good, and even after that 7th inning, they got a lot of help from their relievers and really were put themselves in a good position to try to come back. And Richie Schaefer had a solo home run that put him close, but it was Matt Latos who ultimately shut the door. What a win for the Blue Crabs and a tough one for the Rockers again here tonight.
Yeah, this one stings a little bit. You talk about the fact this team had just come off a tough travel road trip against the Skeeters. They've dropped 3 in a row. Well, now it's 4. They had the lead. They lost it there at the end. You had a chance to build a little bit in your wild card lead. You're not able to do so. Just everything about this loss tonight kind of just smacks you in the face a little bit.
6-5. the Blue Crabs win here on Labor Day. As we give you a quick recap, it was it was Jared Mitchell who hit Matt Jones in. He gets an RBI for that, right?
I think so.
Okay, I know we've had not issues with that, but I know that it's been up for debate before because
let me check right here,
because he did hit into a double play, but he wasn't out, or he hit over to second, but he beat it out to first.
So he does not get an RBI.
So he does not get the RBI there, but because of the ball that came off of his bat, the run came in.
Correct.
In Matt Jones, and then it would be Matt Jones who had a 2 RBI single. Hector Gomez would hit a solo home run to give the Rockers a 4-1 lead. The Blue Crabs would come back and make it 4-3 after some big hits there in the 7th inning. And guys getting on base like Clint Blackstone and Edwin Garcia. Josh McAdams would have the first home run. It was a big single by John Griffin that would bring in a run. And then to give the Blue Crabs their 4th, 5th, and 6th runs that would ultimately help them win this ball game. It was a massive 3-run homer by Tony Thomas. And as we just said, fast forward to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Richie Schaefer hits a solo home run, but Matt Latos closes the door and helps the Blue Crabs win tonight. A 6-5 win that came in a big spot. Here in the second half, the Blue Crabs pick up their 25th win. The Rockers are now 25-26, 66-56. The Blue Crabs are 51-70. Your parting thoughts here from the ballpark.
Well, I mean, first off, if you do the math, 66 and 56 equals 122. That means there are 18 games left in the High Point Rockers season. 18 games between them and a potential playoff spot. This one stings a little bit. This will be a game that you look back on and say, this is one we should have won. And so when you get down to basically 2.5 weeks left of regular season where we are right now, as a team, the mentality has to be, we can't afford to do that anymore. As a team, our mentality has to be winning every single night. Obviously, you want to do that, but you've got to finish. You've got to close these games out. Offensively, pretty happy with what I saw today from the Rockers. They were
especially after being shut out.
Sure, absolutely. I thought they bounced back really nicely today to the tune of 5 runs. Craig Stem, fantastic, 4 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, only 3 hits. Pretty impressed with what we saw from him today, too. Just a little hiccup from the bullpen, something that's kind of unusual, something that doesn't happen a whole lot. But all things considered, the Rockers played a solid, I would say, a B-plus ball game today. So, unfortunately, wasn't enough to get the win. Winning pitcher, though, is John Hayes. Goes to 3-5 on the year. The loser, Chase Hutchinson, drops to 5-4. Matt Latos comes in, picks up his 21st save of the year. So, this is just another one where you got to just shake it off and be ready to come out here tomorrow. Joe Van Meter's going to be taking the ball tomorrow and gives the Rockers a great chance to come back and snap this losing streak. They've tied their worst streak of the season, 4 games. Tomorrow is a great time to snap that if you want to take some momentum for this season and this series.
No, I absolutely agree with you. One more thing I want to talk about before we leave so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. I know it is a Blue Crabs win tonight, but we got to give credit to Stem for a nice start. Who went through 4 2/3, I believe it was.
Innings, yep. 3 hits, 3 walks, but 9 strikeouts.
Looked good.
And only gave up the 1 run.
That's right. Looked good today, and ultimately it was the Blue Crabs coming away with the win, but the Rockers are right there and still an opportunity to win this series with 3 games left. You look at it, and it's perfectly split. 9 more home games for the Rockers, 9 more on the road. So when you go on the road, typically speaking, and this will be the case for the Rockers here in this playoff push, things get a little bit more difficult. It gets harder to win when you're on the road, especially when you look at 3 of those 9 include 3 against, arguably the best team in the Atlantic League all year long, the Long Island Ducks. And you're going to have some tough ones when the Somerset Patriots come into town, I believe, for 4. So you got 2 in the Barnstormers and 3 left here in the Blue Crabs. And you have tomorrow, which is a full 1 game, and then Wednesday is a double header that starts at 5 o'clock. It'll be a $1 beer night, by the way. So come out and enjoy that. So that will really set the scene for what's yet to come. The Rockers have put themselves in a position where they have that wild card lead. They're still in a good spot to make it into the playoffs, but a series win would go a long way for them in doing so. Anything else? Okay, that's all we got for you here from the ballpark. The Blue Crabs win 6-5 thanks to Tony Thomas in a 3-run home run that was ultimately the difference maker. Also, shout out to McAdams, who had a solo homer in that 5-run 7th inning. Matt Lato shuts the door. Richie Schaefer's home run, a nice highlight in the 9th inning, but the Rockers were shut down by Matt Latos, one of, if not the best relief pitchers in the Atlantic League. We'll see you tomorrow as the Rockers will reset and go for it all again tomorrow. So an opportunity to win this series for the Rockers. With the game tomorrow starting at 6:30, we'll see you at 6:15 on YouTube and Spreaker. Thanks so much for joining us. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Have a safe and great rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:15. Blue Crabs win 6-5.